I'm dying to know what you think, Bruntz. Rank the quarterback competency level of Nebraska's opposing quarterbacks to date.
To date.
Including Malik Washington coming up.
Sorsby is at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that we're not including Akron or Houston Christian in this.
You can if you'd like.
It's fairly safe.
To you, Bruntz.
I'd bring you some fresh risotto if you could tell me
So
his
is it-
Christian quarterback's name.
This is
Like risotto.
And I know Bruntz doesn't like meat.
just stirring. You got to keep stirring it. I would say, in terms of who worries me, I would say Sorsby, Underwood, Washington, Childs.
Really?
Interesting.
Bruntz is the first to put Childs behind Washington. Not that you're wrong, because we'll see on Saturday, I guess.
They're both.
What is it about Washington that you feel is above Childs pre-playing Nebraska?
I think it's what's around him that concerns me a little bit too, and that's the supporting cast. I feel like worries me a little bit more than what Michigan State's did around Childs. Like there wasn't really anybody in Michigan State that I was like, oh, you got to really worry about those guys, and especially against Nebraska.
You mean offensively?
Yeah, I mean, And having seen Childs too, like there was some plays that he made where he was flipping the ball, he was trying to kind of go off schedule a little bit, and that's when he got into trouble. And I think he's kind of shown in the past that he'll do that. And that's not saying that Washington is like Peyton Manning or anything, but I mean I think the supporting cast and I think their willingness to throw the ball at least worries me a little.
Does it bother you if it's quick game versus trying to throw it over Nebraska's head?
Quick game worries me a little bit more. I think
because they do
a lot.
They do a lot of quick game.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the over the top stuff. Like if they want to keep trying to chuck it over Nebraska's head, you let them. I think Nebraska can hold its own there. So. I think it's just like the quick game, like kind of rhythm stuff that at least gets you a little bit concerned. It's almost 1,000 cuts thing through the air.
Interesting. When you look at Maryland, you look at Malik Washington. How much stock do you put in what he's looked like against everybody else, one power conference team and then the three non-conference, versus how it kind of looked against Washington, which I thought was a pretty big step down for him compared to what we've seen?
Yeah, they were kind of fortunate against Washington that it wasn't, that he got away with some throws in that game for sure. I think it's more the upside that concerns me there, but I do think he's prone to making some freshman mistakes. I don't know that. I mean, I think it's impressive the way they went into Madison and won, but I don't know how good Wisconsin actually is. I don't think they are. But I don't know. I put a little bit of stock in it, but I think Nebraska is going to be the best defense they've faced to date. So I don't know. I mean, you're bobbing. I can see you.
Because can I just process?
No, it's just his delivery was funny.
Of course, it's Bruntz.
He's got a funny delivery. What do you want from me?
Bruntz, how do you not leave this show, these segments with us, and think, you know what? I'm not the greatest person in America, because all you ever do is get complimented on this thing, and you're not that nice. Like, I'm
very nice, Damon. I'm very nice.
What did you think of Washington up until? Like even up until the game and then through three quarters? Like, did you hold them in pretty high regard?
Against Washington? You're talking
about
No.
Washington, the team. Like, how'd you feel about Washington through all their games in three quarters in College Park?
I think that I've watched a bit of Washington football. I think they're a good team. They do some things.
So did you think through 3 quarters, you're like, oh my gosh, Maryland's probably pretty good? Or no? That's what I was contemplating in my head when I'm listening to your answer.
I thought how was Washington.
Is it interesting that like my brain goes to like this like, okay, you just came off a game with Ohio State and then you have to fly all the way across the country. Like in some ways it felt like that was my first thought was like, oh man, they caught them at the right time. Because I think Washington's a better team than Maryland. Like
I agree.
I looked at it like I looked at it like how is Maryland up 20?
That's how. Yeah.
That's also how I looked at it when they went to Madison, though. Too is like how I know Wisconsin's not good, but like still, I mean that's a young team going on the road and looking competent. So I don't know that the Washington game that really surprised me more. I think more so that Washington was kind of playing down. And then, I mean, the last 40 plays or so that Washington ran? I mean, they kind of kicked their asses.
Yeah, it was civvy.
And not only that, but I mean, it just Maryland's just complete unwillingness or not wanting to run the ball when they were up was kind of fascinating too. Because it felt like that game was pretty largely in control. Then you have the weird taunting penalty, and then it was kind of off to the races at that point.
Well, I still like. Do you want to explain that to me, or
I cannot.
Bruntz, what'd you think? I guess I know what you think. You said weird taunting penalty.
Like that happens like what 5 times a game probably
all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have.
It was like here's what it felt like when the NFL refs called leveraging against Denver at the end of that game. Like it happens. Like why are we calling this now?
Oh.
But that's another story.
When you said something interesting there at the end of that answer with Maryland's unwillingness to run the ball in the fourth quarter, up 20 points or whatever on Washington, like does that give you because everybody keeps telling me like, oh, well, they're going to try and run it against Nebraska. I really don't think they are.
Why would they?
Yeah, like I'm 5 games in. I don't think they are going to try and run the ball. That doesn't seem like something they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that would be a change from what they've done. I mean,
come out and go for $1.70 and I'll be pissed.
Yeah, well, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, Malik Washington, like he's only even took off 11 times this year.
Hey, he doesn't want
to do a game, right? I mean, I feel like DB here on his Underwood rants, and now he's going to, bust one off on us. But like I sit here and I go, okay, he's only even tried to run 11 times this year. And
yeah, they don't. The design stuff isn't there. He doesn't really scramble on his own. Like
he's a big guy, though.
He's not small. He's not small. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they did try to run it against Nebraska, I mean, I think Nebraska should be able to handle that fairly well. I mean, that's an in-game adjustment you're able to make, I think.
I'm just going to tell you guys, because we're all family here in the Tree of Trust. I want you guys to understand the stigma that comes with being a black athletic quarterback and not wanting to fit he's just a runner scrambler narrative. Sometimes even to our detriment, we will not run as a capable running quarterback because it's important. It's pretty imperative that we can play quarterback as a quarterback too. So like that internal tug of war is a 100% real thing in my opinion.
That's interesting.
So I think you'll see, like, I don't know how much you've watched of them, but there's a handful of times it's nothing but plush green. Well, could be turf, but grass. And he's like, no, I'm just going to throw this thing. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing. It is absolutely a real thing.
It's interesting. I mean, like you talk about going into this game, like, okay, well, can you make them one-dimensional? I mean, they kind of are already to start, aren't they? I mean,
and their passing game isn't one in which, like, it plays into Nebraska. It plays into how Nebraska likes to cover.
Can I give you an interesting number on Malik Washington? his bad throw percentage is according to PFF, and it's one of the numbers I actually think is useful from them. His bad throw percentage is almost 5%. That's a high number.
That is.
Dylan's is 2.5, so it's almost double that. Like, I sit here and I go, okay, I don't think they want to run the ball. I think Malik Washington is talented, but I do think he does some things to his own detriment. I think they try and make the offense as easy for him as possible with quick game, and yet he still had like that number's really high for a guy that they don't ask to do some of the things that more experienced quarterbacks are asked to do, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a thing. If I'm Nebraska's defense and I'm looking at, you mentioned Bruntz and some of the throws he got away with against Washington, I go, okay, there's going to be some opportunities to eat here if we really want to.
Yeah, I think there were 3 or 4 that were just in bad spots, or he kind of was pretty lucky to get away with. He's gotten a lot of balls tipped this year.
And I'm not saying he's not a bad. He's a good.
No, he's super talented, and he's
same thing I said about Underwood. He's going to be a really good player,
and he's playing really well for a true freshman. But for a true freshman,
Underwood had the luxury. Number one, I think their temperament is different, at least so far. And it's not like I'm handshaking and having coffee with either one, but just how they carry themselves. Underwood seemed like a cool, kind of mature customer, right? He had the run game to fall back on. He had how Michigan carries themselves to fall back on. Not every freshman quarterback is going to have that, nor be wired like that. So I don't know. I thought Childs got rattled early and he wasn't the same. Now maybe it'll be different at home for Washington. I don't know that, but
Washington doesn't have a run.
But Washington doesn't have the culture of calm, cool, collected. We got this.
Yeah.
Under his belt either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It felt like, and this is no shot at Underwood, but it feels like he's very much just kind of like a cog in the machine.
Yeah. Even going in, I said Underwood has way more margin for error than Dylan,
and certainly more than Washington does.
Yeah.
Like it has to be Washington and Maryland plays well, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No. They're going to have to do some things against Nebraska that nobody's done against Nebraska through the air, I think, to have success in this one. So we'll see if they can do that.
How about the kicking game? Do you have a side you think can, or a way you think this comes into play? When Maryland kicks off, they do not kick it in the end zone. I'm just hoping that they don't score enough, because that's when kickoff return can be a weapon, and you're like, well, damn, that means they just scored points. But I think Nebraska can get one in the KOR game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the benefits too for Nebraska of just winning the field position battle, which they've done with consistency this year. Like how much that helps you on the road. Like even that game last week, like that field was so tilted in Nebraska's favor for most of the game. That was huge when the offense was sputtering and it didn't feel like, you were really in a ton of trouble. But I'm curious to see if that travels. And I don't know. I think special teams is one of those things where you make a play or two, you get guys believing that you can be a difference maker, and you see it on the field. And you make one big play on special teams, that's enough to win on the road sometimes, or to swing the game. So
especially in a one score, and what Vegas deems as a one-score game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Nebraska's done a really nice job of just limiting punt return opportunities. What is it? Was it 246 yards to 1 or -1 right now for Nebraska versus its opponents? Like it's crazy from where they were. So I think it can be an advantage. Really the kickoff return is the only part of Nebraska's special teams where you really haven't seen like a big play yet, right? I don't think I'm missing anything. So we'll see if they can do it. But special teams is probably 1B for the story of the season so far for Nebraska.
What's interesting? What's 1A?
I don't know. Something's got to be bigger than special teams. But
hey, Bruntz,
I was asking your coordinator question.
How would you rank the coordinators heading into College Park? based
Yeah,
on
well, Schaefer asked this on our site. As of right now, who I would say Eckler. I would put him 1.
Are you convinced or is what?
That the special team stuff is for real?
Yeah, no, like
That Eckler
like
should be
head
one.
like heading.
Oh,
But you
I
listen.
think through 5 games, I think with the improvements that's been made, I think it would be hard to not. I would put Butler just in the last couple games. I would put him ahead of Dana right now. That's what I would say. I would say special teams, defense, offense, but that's not a knock on Dana either. I mean, I think he's been fine, but still trying to find some things. I mean, I felt like you're kind of calling plays to get through it in the second and third quarter last week, but I think they'll bounce back. But I special teams to me, it's I mean, how many kicks did Nebraska have blocked last year? Was it 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're having conversations about whether or not Nebraska can break where they're going to break a big play that'll switch the game. I mean, it's a completely different conversation you're having.
That is Michael Bruntz, Husker
Yes, it is.
24/7. Appreciate the time as always. We will
That kind Michael Bruntz.
always
Kind.
Always.
Always kind.
Hashtag be kind.
You know why?
Why?
Go North guy. We're all nice.
That's not true. It's definitely not.
Bruntz, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks, MB.